praying. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. And I said that you can't always get what you want, honey. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. If you try sometime, well, you might just find what you need.
It was very important to us, the fact that we were going to go back out on the road behind a new record, that we resolved this thing with Brian. So Mick and I had to go down and sort of tell Brian virtually, like, hey, Cock, you're fired. Yeah, the fact that he was expecting it made it kind of easier, I guess. You know, he wasn't surprised, and I don't really even think he took it all in. He was already up in the stratosphere, you know. It was kind of like, yeah, but there was no serious way that we can consider going on the road with Brian. So that was, but at the same time, nobody expected it to happen just like that.
About midnight, Jones went for a swim with his Swedish girlfriend, Anna Volin, and another friend, Mr. Frank Thorogood. After a time, Mr. Thorogood and the girl went back to the house. When they returned, they saw Jones at the bottom of the pool, and they pulled him out.
Charlie phoned me up. Phone went about 3 in the morning, and I just got off to sleep after about an hour. Charlie phoned me up, and he just said, Brian died. I can't believe it. Yeah. Then Mick flew to Australia to do Ned Kelly. Keith was working in the studio. Me and Charlie went to the funeral. When we drove through Cheltenham, all the streets were packed with people. I've never seen anything like it. It was like a coronation, I think, you know. The blue tries to break and tries to make it just don't feel good, and you don't feel alright. And like all his family and relatives are all like tranquilized and everything. Everybody's crying, upset. There's thousands of fans everywhere. The sad thing was that he'd left the band and suddenly he was phoning up people and getting a band together. And he was coming up to the sessions and telling us all about what he was doing and all that. I mean, he's still a very good friend. And then suddenly, wham, you know.
Although it was a shock when it actually happened, nobody was really that surprised, too. There are people, I mean, I'm sure that everybody's got those feelings about certain people. Everybody knows people that you just have that feeling about they're not going to be 70 years old ever, you know. Not everybody makes it, you know.
He got much nicer just before he died, you know, the last few years of his life. But I felt even sorrier for him for what we did to him then. we took his one thing away, which was being in a band. That's my opinion.
Here in Hyde Park, London, a memorial for Rolling Stones guitarist Brian Jones is getting underway. The concert is being called a tribute to Jones, who died 2 days ago in a tragic pool accident at his home in Sussex. Today, the Rolling Stones will publicly introduce Jones' replacement, 20-year-old Mick Taylor, who formerly played with John Mayall's Blues Breakers. The free concert is expected to draw over 200,000 Londoners.
I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time when they asked me to join. I now look back on those days as being a very valuable part of my life. I think they brought out the best in me as a guitar player.
The one remains, the many change and pass. Heaven's light forever shines. Earth's shadows fly. Life, like a dome of many-colored glass, stains the white radiance of eternity until death tramples it to fragments.
I was walking around the perimeter of Hyde Park when they were doing the concert after Brian had died. I bumped into Mick and Charlie just crossing the road, and we just said hi. I said, have a good concert, and there's all this sea of people. I said, have a good time, you know. I'll be there, be with you, you know. But I couldn't put a date on it when I was going to be there.
It had changed while we'd been off the road for 3 years, yeah. We suddenly had to work with PA systems. And there's an audience there that's listening instead of screaming chicks. You know, before, we used to just go out there and play, and there might be one speaker hanging on a wall with a voice. That would be it, you know, worry about it. The band just played, the girls screamed, and we ran away. Instead of playing full blasts, just to try and penetrate the audience, suddenly you got to... back to learning how to play on stage again. So for us, it was all like a school again, the 69 tour.
Oh, yeah. Thank you kindly. I think I busted a button on my trousers. Hope they don't fall down. Start jumping around, man. I have to do it up again. You don't want my trousers to fall down now, do you? We're going to do a
slow blues for you now, people.
The whole thing became much more professional. You had lights, you had your own crew. Up to then, rock and roll tours have been pretty ramshackle. I mean, you'd just be playing every kind of place, which is a bit disorientating for performance. Much easier to play the same kind of play, same stage every night, the same configuration. It becomes like your second home.
It started off as a very beautiful, you know, laid-back Californian day. I remember walking through a very relaxed, nice crowd. Yeah, I mean, it was the love and peace bit as well. And then it all got very nasty. And I remember walking on stage and these guys grunting something like out the way, and the whole crowd went like that, and I knew something wasn't quite right.
Everybody seems to be ready. Are you ready? For the first time in 3 years, the greatest rock and roll band in the world, the Rolling Stones! The Rolling Stones!
Oh, baby.
There's so many of you. Just be cool down the front and don't push around. Everyone keep that. Sit down and just keep cool. Let's just relax. Let's just get into a groove. Come on, we can get it together. Come on. I just asked them, is the girl who wants every down. I just asked them, is the woman who wants push me around.
The ultimate thing was like really nasty and very nasty experience, but it still doesn't really completely sully the tour for me. That was one gig that went really wrong. It was outside of the experience of that tour also, which, as I said, a tour of arenas. Yeah, it was a complete mess. And, you know, we were partly to blame for not checking it out, but it was just totally disorganised. It was sort of you expected everyone in San Francisco that it was going to be, you know, because they were so mellow and nice and organised, that it was going to be all those things, of course it wasn't.
Mick Jagger is here in Australia for his new film about the outlaw Ned Kelly. After that, he's set to do another picture called Performance.
The only performance that makes it, that really makes it, that makes it all the way, is the one that achieved madness, right? I remember you in Hemlock Road in 1956. You're a baggy little leather boy with a smaller piece of stick. You're a lashing, smashing hunk of man. Your sweat shines sweet and strong. Your organ's working perfectly, but there's a part that's not screwed on. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Excuse me, but come in. Take them off. Take them off. say you are and keep your noses clean. Boys will be boys and play with toys, so be strong with your bees. Oh, Rosie dear, don't you think it's queer? So stop me if you please. The baby's dead, my lady said, you gentlemen, why you all work from me.
And I like to try to do acting. I feel that I can do, to a certain extent, I can do it if I'm given the right part. And I enjoyed doing those two movies. They came pretty close to one another, Performance and Ned Kelly.
The reason we left England, you know, became tax exiles because we were totally broke. And we owed the inland revenue more money than we could possibly earn when income tax was like 90% or where it was. It was a pity we had to leave. It wouldn't have been my choice.
When we left England and went to France in the end of the 60s, we had no money. On $1 million, you got left with 70,000. And you owed that more than that to the tax people, so you couldn't earn it, so you had to leave. But so then you become bad boys again. You get accused of becoming tax exiles to line your pockets, you know. Same old thing again.
I mean, in some ways, Alan Klein was very much ahead of his time. Andrew sold into this as a sort of gangster figure, someone sort of outside the establishment, and I think everyone found that rather attractive. The thing about Alan was that he took a very large percentage, and we didn't really, I mean, how long did we really last? We lasted like 3 or 4 years with him, really, though the ramifications of that still continue to this day.
He did very good deals for us, but I think he was really looking after himself first, and in retrospect, that was the case. No, I've never had any regrets with going with Alan Klein because he turned it into a global, he opened your eyes to, you know, sure, he's going to rip you off if he can, but those other cats are taking their piece before, so you learn a whole load of shit. And I never learned as much, and I never worried about who took who from who here and there. You know, I figured it's the price of an education.
We organised a simple way of handling our business, which lasted for a few years, and Rolling Stone Records was just a licensing deal. We didn't have a real record label with a host of other artists on it. But it gave us at least the image that we were independent. And then we recorded the Exile on Main Street.
We tore up the Riviera for the whole summer. I had this beautiful house, speed place in French Riviera. And we know we're cooking up a good album in the basement of my house. We cut the whole record.
Enjoy doing videos. They're quite hard work sometimes because they're always at locations are the worst. But, you know, you always moan about doing them, and Charlie moans and Keith always moans a lot about doing videos. But there they are. I mean, that's what you've got, really. Funnily enough, you've got that. It's one of the few things of that time that's really evocative of the song, because people don't want to just hear the record. They want to see something of you doing it.
When will those clouds all disappear? Angie, where will it lead us from here? With no loving in our souls and no money in our court. You can say we're satisfied, Angie, you can say we never tried.
These were just things that we just always did for every record. We could see we had fun with It's Only Rock and Roll, which was, I mean, a pretty crazy idea, putting everyone inside a tent and blowing it up with bubbles. And of course we forgot completely that Charlie was a head or 2 heads shorter because he was sitting down. Yeah, I was quite surprised that Mick wanted to leave the band, but here they are. Yeah, it was difficult because we didn't find someone straight away. We tried lots of people, and Ronnie was playing with the Faces, I think.
As fate had it, I was at a party at Robert Stigwood's with Mick and Mick Taylor, and I remember being next to Mick Jagger while Taylor came up and handed his resignation in, you know. And Mick turned to me and he said, "What am I going to do? Mick's just left the band." I said, "Oh, no." He said, "Yeah, he's really serious." I said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "Would you join?" I said, "Of course I would, in a minute, but I don't want to let the Faces down." He said, "No, I don't want to split that up." He said, "Either." He said, "I'm in a real predicament."
I mean, when Ronnie walked in the room, just played one number, that's it. It's obvious. Everybody else was up for the gig, agreed. You got to, you know. So it was. There we are, Lumber with him, still on.
We got very, very sort of spread apart in the mid-70s, and along came Mr. Wood, and literally pulled it all together. He kind of was like a catalyst.
I remember turning the corner and playing Brown Sugar. We had all the equipment set up on the back. We had all the press gathered in a restaurant, and they thought the Stones were going in, and so we just drove by playing Brown Sugar. And they were all there running out of the restaurant with their pads.
I think it was actually Charlie's idea. Jazz in the old days in Harlem, they used to do promotions for their gigs on flatbed trucks. So every time we try and do a piece of promotion now, we always refer back to that as being the best one.
The only way that Armin Erdogan could get the record released or something is if we changed the title to Star Star. We had to sort of reach a compromise there. A bit like, I suppose, before my time when they did Ed Sullivan.
That thing was like a millstone around her neck. Police chiefs were waiting for it all over America. You know. Yeah, you blow that balloon up big and I'll throw a whole damn bunch in jail. Yeah, it was like a dare, you know.
Rolling Stone guitarist Keith Richards was arrested last night at the Harbor Castle Hotel here in Toronto. He is being charged with possession of drugs.
They had to wake me up to formally arrest me. And that took him about 2 hours to drag me around. Started up with like rosy cheeks, and oh, he's awake. You are under arrest. Oh, great. You know, I looked at the old lady and said, I'll see you in about 7 years, babe.
Keith Richards appeared in court today here in Toronto. He's being charged with possession of heroin. A conviction on possession or trafficking charges could result in Richards serving up to 7 years behind bars.
I was down and out there in Canada, in Toronto, stuck there, right? And America let me in to clean up. They gave me a medical visa to clean up. And I think, and that amazed me. You know, because you don't ever expect from government the helping hand, you know. Cold turkey's hard, but it ain't. It's only 3 days of climbing walls. And then the 4th day you start to feel better. After that, you're on your own, you know. Then it's a matter of what it is you want to do, you know. I got off after that by, see, after 10 years on this stuff, you get, you live in this other world, you know, I mean, where everybody you knows one, you know, and so the cats are coming around trying to sell you stuff again. You know, and so I started to get off. My high for a while was watching their faces when they said, no, man. Come on, man. Hey, man, just a taste, man. And just when they couldn't make a sale, to watch their face, that would be my high.
Well, it was a blessing in disguise, as we say, because what had happened is, you know, here it is. This is his 9th life. There's no doubt about it. And there was a choice to be made. You know, you're going to give up music or you're going to give up drugs. Because he was facing 20 years. And when he really thought about it, there's only one thing he cannot do without, and that is music.
And then the blind angel comes into the picture. This little chick from Toronto, she's totally blind. There's nothing would stop this girl from turning up at gigs. So I'd fix her up. Hey, give the girl a ride, man. You know what I mean? You know, 'cause I just had visions of her being run over. God knows what could happen to a blind chick on the road. This chick went to the judge's house in Toronto, personally. And she told him this simple story, you know? And I think from there he figured out the way to get Canada and himself and myself over the hook. And so I sent her to a concert of the blind, which I gladly performed, you know. And my blind angel came through, bless her heart, you know.
This is John Torv reporting for 2SM in Sydney, Australia. The Rolling Stones are here in Toronto, Canada, where they performed last night at the El Macambo nightclub. Among those in attendance was Prime Minister Trudeau's wife, Margaret.
I don't think she can be faulted for disappointing the Canadian people or rocking the Canadian dollar. I certainly wouldn't tell Margaret not to go at any rock concerts of the Stone or of anyone else.
Studio 54 was a place where you went to pick up girls, really, as far as I'm concerned. Anyone who was visiting New York, you would see them there. The attraction, I mean, a big city, when you visit a big city, you want to know where to go to meet other people who are also transient, a transient life. And that was the attraction of it, really. People will say, well, we'll miss you, a disco record. Well, only as far as Charlie was concerned, because he's playing 4 on the floor, which is 4 on the floor is 4 beats on the bass drum in the bar, which was the staple bass drum pattern of disco music at that point. It's funny when you look back on these things because they provoke such emotion. You can't understand why. Why should such a thing like 4 on the floor bass drum provoke any emotion at all? It's just a beat.
The year before, in 78, we'd done the tour behind Some Girl. So we knew the Stones weren't going to be working in 79. And Ronnie had put together a great band. I was just looking for something to do. What I do best. I know, I play guitar in a rock and roll band. You know? So where's the nearest one? Ronnie's. And Ronnie's always there when you need him, quite usually inadvertently. But it's that usual mystical timing, you know. he had this thing going. And I said, oh, sure, man, I'll come. So just did it.
It was a tour based primarily on outdoor shows. We had to make the stadium stage something to look at. So you have to make it into an event that though you know you're not in the best place for seeing and the best place for hearing, that you still can enjoy it. So we tried in that tour to make it all those things.
Never stop. I can't compete with your eyes in the earth. Stop me up, yeah, you stop me up. I never stop. You make an old man cry. You make an old man cry. You make an old man cry. By the whole
You know, the first time I met Muddy Waters was in Chess Studios, 1964. And he was painting the goddamn ceiling. Because he wasn't selling records at the time. That throws you a curve. You know, he's the king of the blues, painting the wall. So by the time we got to play with him, we like, got our chops down. And Muddy's, by then, he's sitting on a stool, a black Buddha. He smiled, and he just led us through these songs. And honestly, Ronnie and I were in heaven.
Woo! When I was a young boy, at the age of 5, my mother died on be the greatest man alive. But now I'm a man, way past 21. You got to believe me, honey. I have lots of fun. I'm a rolling stone. Man, I'm a hoochie coochie man. Hey, 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 baby. I shoot. We'll never miss. That's right. The way I make love to a woman, you just can't resist. I tell you. Man, I'm a full-grown man. I tell you something. I'm a natural lover, man. I can dig that. Don't hurt me, don't hurt me, child. Yeah. Don't hurt me, child. Right on. Don't hurt me, don't. Yeah. Thanks, sir. There y'all doing.
It was a very large tour with a lot of people. I can't remember how many people came to see it. I think, I don't know, 1.5, 2 million, something like that. There was a lot of people coming. And there was a lot of outdoor shows. The problem was we also had an indoor stage design at the last minute because we were doing indoor stages and we designed one of those. So it was a mixed tour. So your movements are just different. The band's got to be different. The volumes are different. Everything's different.
This is one of Ronnie's lines, so I'll give him the credit. Sometimes I have the feeling that thousands of people are watching. He said, am I just paranoid? Because you're really in another world up on the stage, you know, and it's like, you know they're there, but at the same time, if you thought about it too much, I mean, it would paralyze you. The consummate professional. They're very aware of who they are. They know what they've got to do to stay there. And I think that they have this incredibly supportive relationship here in Keith. Even though they have all these squabbles, I think that they really do support each other.
I'm just standing in a doorway. I'm just trying to make some sense out of these girls that passing by, the toilet hell of men. I'm not waiting on a lady. Remember what I said. I'm not waiting on a lady. I'm just waiting on a friend. I'm just waiting.
None of us really believe that he's gone, and I'm sure that even the tour that we're doing now, the Steel Wheels tour, every night every group member thinks of him and in a way dedicates his show to him, and we think he's up there criticising us, you know.
It's very hard to remember when he wasn't there, but we used to rehearse in pubs and Stu would be there, and he was a lovely boogie-woogie piano player. And he was very different from us because he was so straight and we were all a bit crazy. The difficulty in growing up, I think, is that you start with this gang of people. And as anyone knows who's been in a gang, or the gang just simply can't last forever. And it's very childish to think that you can remain in this gang all the time.
There's nobody I know that doesn't annoy me one way. I'm sure there's nobody that knows me, that's bits about me that don't annoy him. You know, but if you're working with somebody 25 years, little things mean a lot, you know. The relationship was pretty shabby at that point, you know. We got to the end of our tether with each other, going to make this video, and the director suggested using some of this energy that was obviously there. Why not, you know, depict it, why not, you know, use a bit of it. So, you know, right by me. Yeah, it was a very good portrayal of the situation at the time.
The fight video, there's always lots of angst in rock and roll, so it used to thrive on it.
Your love is just sweet as Jesus. I can't clean you out of my veins. It's a lot longer picture that has damaged my brain. It's just one head to the body. Tear my defenses apart. One head to the body, to the body, to the body. Come straight from the heart.
Charlie, you've been touring with the Rolling Stones for about 25 years now. Do you still enjoy it?
Oh, good. It's work, isn't it? I mean, I just don't think about it, actually. Best not to. But I mean, dead years ago, I thought about it.
Thanks very
Quite
much.
hard work, some of it. As you noticed today, I mean, what have we done? Nothing. Except sit around.
You must have done a great deal of hanging around in 25 years with the Stones.
Worked 5 years and 20 years hanging around.
I was feeling very kind of stultified within the Rolling Stones, and I thought,
Angels,
great. You know, Nick needed to find his own feet out there and see what it's like if he thought he could live without us. And I had to find out and do it myself too. And we both grew up a lot doing and finding out certain realism. You know, it's easy to go a little crazy inside the Rolling Stones bubble if that's all you do. The one thing I never wanted to do was solo record until I started doing it. And by then, working with all these guys, I'd found the nucleus of another great band.
Give it up, love it, easy to do. People so pitiful, never come true, hollow. Honey, 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 yeah. I ain't that way.
In New York City tonight, the music world honors its own as the Rolling Stones will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This will be the first time Mick Jagger and Keith Richards have been seen in public together since their much-publicized split a couple of years ago. The Stones are being introduced by Pete Townsend of The Who.
There's some giant artists here tonight. But the Stones will always be the greatest for me. They epitomise British rock for me. And even though they're all now my friends, I'm still a fan. Guys, whatever you do, don't try and grow old gracefully. It wouldn't suit you.
You know, it's slightly ironic that tonight we're all on it. You see us on our best behaviour, but we're being rewarded for 25 years of bad behaviour. I must say, I'm very proud to work with this group of musicians for 25 years. The other thing I'm very proud of is the songs that Keith and I have written over the last 25 years. I'd like to pay tribute to two people who can't be here tonight. One, Ian Stewart, a great friend, a great blues pianist, whose odd but invaluable musical advice kept us on a steady, bluesy course for most of the time. And to Brian Jones, whose individuality and musicianship often took us off the bluesy course with some often marvellous results. Jean Cocteau said that Americans are funny people. First you shock them, then they put you in a museum. So on behalf of the Stones, I'd like to thank you very much for this.
Working in the city isn't necessarily the best thing with a band because there's always somebody's going to dinner or somebody's in town that somebody's got to see, and you've got to kind of round everybody up, whereas if you've got them on a little island where there's nowhere to go and you're actually living almost in the studio, you know, then you get a lot more done quicker.
Don't go mad at the drum solo, eh?
We decided decided we were going to do this 1 year, and we were trying to do everything in 1 year. So we had to be very efficient. I mean, I was surprised that we managed to get it all done. But when you have to, you know, you've got an afternoon to do the overdub, and you go in and do it. If you've got weeks in front of you, you go, well, I don't think I'll come in today because my voice is not really... And so on, you make excuses. When you've got to, you just go in and do it.
This year's been a dream from the day Mick and I started writing the songs. You know, we could fool around on the floor laughing at what you called me in the Daily Mirror. Do you call me? Ah, ha, ha. You know, and we crack up, you know, because we've already got 3 or 4 songs on. This is, you know, in February, you know.
You're not the only one with mixed emotions. You're not the only one. I want to get up there. Need another chord. Need another chord in there. I think we have to take another minor.
Yeah, one more minor, F and G.
With mixed emotions. You're not the only one.
Let's try and go from the top then.
1, 2, 3. Adrift on this ocean.
Not bad. Nice. Nice, right. Yeah. Like that. You got the job.
But you're in, baby. But you're cold. Let's go out dancing. Let's rock and roll, yeah. You're not the only one with mixed emotions. You're not the only ship adrift on this ocean. You're not the only one.
People that don't know you say, well, you're on the road all the time. We're not. So when you're not on the road, you can give a lot more attention to your family than someone in a 9-to-5 job that stays late at the office 8 o'clock and you don't see your children ever. So you can spend a lot of time with them when you're not on the road or when you're not in the studio. You've got maybe 2 months with your time is very much your own, and you can work, but you can allot that work time to, you know, not many hours a day. And you can spend a lot of time with your family. So that's how it works.
What's all that? Elizabeth! Wow, Jimmy!
But there's hundreds! Look!
Jimmy, to show me.
So, Daddy, how many Jimmy got?
I mean, this is a very rootless life if you're on your own. You know, the only thing sometimes you've got to hang on to is family. You know, I mean, there's anybody in this band. I mean, they've got very strong family ties.
Keith, you take Patricia to be your lawful wedded wife and to declare yourself as her loving husband?
Yes, I do.
Patricia, do you then take Keith to be your lawful wedded husband
And declare yourself as his wife forever. You may kiss the bride and slip the rings on the finger. We need the bride and the ring on the
Big knuckles.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Keith Richards.
Don't we go in?
Yeah.
And he said, Joe, just keep getting down, Joe. Stand up, yeah. Stand up. Everybody look at the camera this time. Right, look at the camera. Now I want you to look at the other camera.
Have you resolved to be faithful to your wife, forsaking all others, so long as you both shall live? Mandy, have you resolved to be faithful to your husband, forsaking all others, so long as you both shall live?
It's very difficult to keep a marriage together when you're on the road. And it was very difficult, not so much now as it was earlier. Because the nice thing about now is one can dictate, roughly what you're doing. Then you couldn't. I say then, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you couldn't. It's harder on people around you, like my wife, my daughter, and I think it's harder on them. It's a very lonely life. And we were sceptical of what would happen when we walked on stage, whether people would like you as much as last time and all that, And it's amazing how they just love the Rolling Stones. I don't know why.
They're